Hello and welcome to My Body, My Power podcast, where we shine our light, claim our worth, and empower the next generation. I'm your host, Kristen Rubis, a heart-led entrepreneur, mentor, and the creator behind the My Body, My Power movement. Here, we uncover authenticity, celebrate self-expression, and create a life and career that lights up the world. Welcome, Goddess. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to the My Body, My Power podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and I'm deeply grateful to have an empowering conversation with Shauna. Welcome, Shauna.
Hello, welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. So what does My Body, My Power mean to you?
All right, Kristen, I'm so glad you asked me that question because ever since I've met you, this is the one thing that I like about you and the name of your business. Because, as a 68-year-old woman who has had a lot of childhood trauma, being in my body was not always the preferred method of living my life, right?
Yeah.
And as the years have gone on and the healing's gone on, what I know to my core is that the more that I'm in my body, the more empowered I am. My body knows everything first. And so it's my job to listen to what my body is telling me in all kinds of myriad of ways, right? The body communicates to us. And that is our goddess, God-given birthright power of having this body. Like, it just makes me want to cry because the more I take care of it, the more I tend to it, especially, being older, I'm not talking about boys as much anymore. I'm talking about health, right? Like, because I want to live, I want to participate, I want to be alive. And we are living in historical times. So with that said going on, the being present in the body is what's going to help all of us get through this kind of scary moments that are going to be coming up. So I feel like as an individual, that's all I really have is my body. I can have all these other things that have been created by humans. My body is mine. And it is my responsibility to engage with that power as my body guides it to be. I don't let anybody else tell me, I don't know. I can't even say it because I don't let them tell me. Like, I just listen to my body, right? And then I go get the help that I need wherever I need it, that kind of thing. And to me, you in your work, embodying people through the sound connects on a spiritual level the power that is available to all of us when we listen. And that sound healing, we listen all these other myriad of ways. And I don't need to be talking to anybody during the sound meditations, right? I can my mind can just relax. And so when that relaxes too, then my body just has more wisdom to tell me.
Beautiful.
I just think everything that you do with that name is magnificent.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that reflection.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself and the amazing work you do in the world.
The amazing work I do in the world. I found out about 30 years ago. One thing I do want to say is I'm 33 years clean and sober. I don't do drugs or alcohol, which I think is also important with the body, because when we do those kind of things, it takes us out of our body. So, and in that, I don't know what to call it, I've also was attuned to Reiki. So my sobriety and Reiki have always gone together for 33 years. I've been in practice. I can't the Reiki helps me stay sober, and I can't channel Reiki if I'm not sober, kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
Nobody really wants to be channeling demons or be channeled, or, you know what I mean?
No thanks, we're good.
Right. Because when we're not in our body and when we are drinking or doing drugs, this is like a side note kind of, like those entities can come in, when we're not conscious, when we're not present in the body. So side note. So when I started doing that kind of work, the Reiki and getting sober, I went and did this one workshop, Ascension workshop, and the woman's like, go around and tell us what our soul's purposes are. And when the guy got to me, he's like, your purpose is to channel the earth's energy. And I thought, what the fuck does that mean though? And how am I going to make money from it? Kind of thing, right? This is way before the internet and all that. So, over the years, my purpose is to bring divine love to the planet, to people in relationships, help them find love, reading tarot, the first question is always asked about some boy or some relationship, right? And yeah, and I just I know for me with my life experience, love was way more important to me than money. Like I always felt like I just needed to find somebody, the prince that was going to make everything better. And it took about 35 years for that to happen, maybe 40, but that instillment of love being the most important action resource, being alive, human to have. And so when I got that, soul's purpose, it's taken me a while to develop and understand what that is, what that means. And when I moved to New York about 12 years ago or something like that. And when I was in New York, I started doing these Reiki adventures at the Met. And we would go and stand in front of paintings or art objects. And I would, do Reiki sessions. I've learned how to take Reiki off the table. And so in those sessions, like with the artwork and the inspiration, I also started going to places on the planet where there's ley lines or vortexes and taking groups of people into those spaces where I'm channeling the energy, channeling the Reiki, and using it, for myself, for other people, and for the planet. Because in those vortexes, I can send the energy out even more. Right. And I am a fifth level transformational Reiki teacher, which means I've been attuned 5 times. Every time you receive a Reiki attunement, your energy is squared. So I have this really huge energy. And I don't even really need to touch anybody anymore. Or, because and the medium of the internet has changed everything so much too, that the vibrations are, creating and moving through that channel also. So in the bigger picture of the whole thing, it is all about that divine love. That's what Reiki is, divine love. And so it's figuring out the most fun, creative, accessible, experiential ways to have Reiki. Because yes, it's great to lay on a table and be relaxed. I've learned how to incorporate meditations, guided meditations that are either linked into an astrological event, or if it's a personal session, whatever it is that the person wants to work on, we then go into a guided meditation where it's a co-created relationship between me and the person. I mean, I have had over 30 years of experience, and so I'm aligning myself with what the person is needing at that time to heal whatever it is that they're working on, right? But the pace to resistance is those Reiki adventures, and having the privilege to go to different parts of the world. I only go to Europe and America. I don't travel really outside. Once I went to Mexico, that was okay. That was enough.
Okay.
And that was like the guides. I'm going to say Mary wanted me to go, and it was all expense paid and everything. And I'll probably never go back again because I don't like the heat. So I like the cool. I like the Pacific Northwest. I like that kind of nature. So that is my main vibration in my work. and then out pictures and, making art and reading tarot and doing private Reiki sessions and creating those online products. Cause I'm writing a book called Venus in Love, where I'm giving like to-dos when Venus moves through each of the signs. I'm so excited about it.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Good for you.
Having so much fun writing it. And so then like the rest of, this year is getting planned around that book and the other products that will be created from that, so people can still purchase things online. But the Reiki, the transformational Reiki is the greatest gift that I have because it's changed my psychic energy. And as a result of that, I have to be more in my body because then I am more connected to the power, that is available to all of us spiritually. And what I've learned is all dis-ease begins in the spirit body. So the Reiki goes to that spirit body, moves through mentally, emotionally, physically for a healing. Like spirit has to outpicture physically for us to see the healing. It will always outpicture. When we are in tune and alignment with it. Yes, but I like journaling is so important. So important. I love that you're a note taker. I am too. And then too, it's, but like the action of writing things down with your body, with your hand connected to your heart and your brain, right? Like it starts to shift your physicality with spiritual relationship. Yes, you cry. Yes, you think thoughts, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the things that can kind of block and or move the energy, which is necessary too. Like it's necessary to change the mindset and to cry. 32 toxins are released of tears of sadness, and 1 toxin is released in tears of joy.
How many toxins are released with sadness?
32.
Oh, wow.
And 1 with the tears of joy, which sometimes you can cry both. And so that's a really good, nice little detox drink, right? In a way, those tears. And I love that too, because that's again, the wisdom of the body, like it's made to cry. It needs to cry. It needs to move things emotionally, with the water element. So it becomes that holistic picture. Okay, I'm going to take a breath because I think I might be done with that question.
Okay, great. Well, what was a defining moment in your life that changed the way you see yourself in the world?
Well, the defining moment was when I got sober, because in the process of getting sober, I got a tarot reading. And this was before I got sober. I got a tarot reading, and I had moved back from Oregon to Illinois. I had gotten divorced, moved away, moved back, was all alone, living on the edge of suburbia where everybody's married, and I wasn't married. And I got this tarot reading, and when the woman was reading the card, she's like, "Oh my God, you're so alone. You're so alone. You're so alone. Oh, phew! Finally, somebody." And I thought later, like, why was she so worried about that? Like, yeah, I'm alone and this is how it is. But it got me thinking, about just changing. Like, I knew I had to change something. And so that about maybe 6 or 7 weeks after that, I got a call from my son's social worker saying that she thought he was suicidal and that he needed to get into therapy. And so I tried to get him into therapy and was unsuccessful, but they said, "Well, are you suicidal? Are you this? Are you that?" And I had to say yes because I was worried about my son, and because they were true also. And with the tarot reading and with that phone call, like it got me into therapy. Of course, I went to Therapy High. And the therapist said, "You might have a problem with marijuana. Let's go to try Narcotics Anonymous." And so I went to Narcotics Anonymous and I got into therapy. And then both at the same time. But during that time, like maybe a year later, somebody said to me, oh, Shauna, you should go see this person. Oh, Shauna, you should go talk to this person. And both people like changed my life spiritually. One was the Reiki teacher and one was the ascension coach. And that's when I first went to Mount Shasta in I think early 90s, 92, 93 maybe. And that whole process of surrendering, my life, my will over to the care of God as I created it, as I understood it, as I experienced it, that has changed me forever. And putting down the drugs and alcohol and like I'm 68. I look pretty good for 68, because of the Reiki, because I don't drink or do drugs, because I eat well. And it's all because of that tarot reading and that woman beautiful. Going, oh my God, you're so alone. You're so alone. Like I didn't, it was the first time I feel like that I ever saw somebody really caring about me.
Wow, really
in that kind of space. And so that love, I feel, it's always the love, however the love comes in those defining moments, because I could list a whole myriad of other ways that love has come into my life, through miracles, but that, to me, that's the first one that I can clock.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Well, what does radical self-love mean to you, and how has it played a role in your journey? You kind of touched on it, but...
Yeah, well, I have 5 planets in Virgo, so I am like always analyzing myself. So, and criticizing and judging and like, so that the word radical implies like this deep faith that I have to love and accept myself and my body exactly how it is. And so when I do accept that and surrender to that, that's where that guidance that I talked about earlier comes in, and not controlling as much. Like in the group that we're in together, I can see how, in my 30s and 40s, I was more controlling of my life. And when these harsher astrological energies were happening, and today, like that Chiron square a week ago, I was doing a meditation and I went into this old memory and it really messed with me for like 3 or 4 or 5 days. And instead of getting upset about it and trying to change it or whatever, I was able to just be with it and know that it'll pass, and I looked at my calendar, when are those squares ending? And like, allowing the healings to move through the body. Because that's the other thing I think people forget, that the body like is a temple and it has all these fields to it. And it takes time. Everybody wants that magic wand, woof, and it's time and timing, both of those things.
Beautiful.
I already forgot the question. Okay, you're welcome.
Well, what is the most authentic version of you, and how does it align with the impact you want to make?
Okay, well, it's gonna make me cry. Because back to that acceptance, it can be really, really hard to accept oneself where they're at. And then there's the comparison to others and like our comparison. And, authenticity for me is always in the moment. This is where I can love and accept myself the best in the moment. It is always like getting past the ego. Like, what do I look like? Oh, look, I got to get my neck lifted, or, whatever I'm doing at 68, comparing myself. Right. And, so it's the honesty, being rigorously honest, which is what being in a 12-step program has taught me too throughout these last years. Rigorously honest, so that people, they either like me or they don't. They're either attracted to me or they're not. And if they're not, that's totally okay these days, because I do not want to in any way, shape, or form manipulate anyone to come into my field. Because, because it's like, I don't want to work that hard anymore. I've had 30 years of working really hard with people, and I don't need to convince anybody anymore of how great I am, or how powerful I am, and that will then, like, authentically, I'm assuming, hoping, praying that that will, keep moving through as I get the courage to show up on social media, to show up on podcasts, to just show up, in this format, right?
Yeah, beautiful. Good for you. I mean, it's such a thing because of all the stages we go through as women, from puberty to motherhood to menopause to crone. We're constantly having to just re-establish that love for ourselves and our bodies and our
Yes.
hearts,
Yes.
and then to be in containers that we're in, where we're totally supported to be our most authentic expression and our authentic version of ourselves. Like that, to me, is so empowering to be able to just embrace those pieces.
Well, and that's what I do love about what you do, Kristen. I'm going to talk about you for a minute. I really love those girls that you work with.
Thank you.
And I love how, I mean, when I was doing this 30 some years ago, nobody even knew the word woo woo.
Right.
It was just like, oh, she's weird. She's just, and, really pushed out. And I would never have imagined the world would be like how it is today, and the mass amount of spiritual openness and deliverance, in all the different ways that are possible. And those girls are, you're giving them memories that they will have their entire life.
For sure.
And the women that you work with too and stuff, right? But that younger age
Yeah, it
is,
started with the girls.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
glorious, and
Well, I'll run into women in their 20s that were in the program in their teens and they still remember certain things, the affirmations or the mirror work or the all about me collage or whatever. And, it is so touching for me. I mean, I really love getting the feedback, and I get a lot things along like, nobody talks to us like this, nobody listens to us like this. And
right.
I think it's important as facilitators, as healers, as people that create the containers, that we're welcoming these kiddos, these adults, whoever, exactly as they are, and we accept them and we respect them and we love them. And it's just curious that on the other side of the coin, we don't always do that for ourselves, or it takes us a few layers to get through before we can come into that place of acceptance without that comparison.
Yeah.
But to see it in these younger reflection with these younger women and younger girls, it's profound. It's life-changing. And I mean, I've been running camps for 16 years, and I'm just at that point right now where it's like, when do you hang up the camp lady hat? Because it's a lot, I mean, I can keep going, but I'm becoming more drawn to supporting women, and, it's like plant those seeds for the kiddos, but it's also, I did my first women's retreats last year, and it was profound. I basically, the same template, same curriculum, same activities for an 8-year-old and a 68-year-old, same stuff.
Okay.
Talking circles, they do a name tag, we talk about things, we do yoga, meditation, mindfulness, sound healing. And then there's always a theme with some kind of activity. And the first one we did all about me collages, and then the one in December we made bath salts. And there was this one woman who, it was curious because there was 3 women that had just recently lost their mothers. And so there was a lot of grief in that August retreat. And so it was beautiful to be able to create that space for them and to hold that container. And so this one woman came to her to introduce herself and just share some personal emotional things. And she's like, wow, I'm really nervous and my hands are kind of clammy. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just all take some breaths together, and her daughter was in my camps. And so I'm like, just think about dropping your kiddo off at my camp. What do you say to her? Like, you got this, babe, be brave, be strong. And so I'm like, you got this, babe, be brave, be strong, and then she shared. And I mean, a lot of tears, like you're saying, releasing that emotion. But yeah, it's amazing how just being in a female identifying body, just how challenging it can be because of the projections we receive from friends, family, society, culture, all of it. But yeah, just to come back to that radical self-acceptance, radical self-love, so that we can be the most authentic versions of ourselves. And it's not rainbows and cherries every day. It's a freaking roller coaster. But the more that we can stay true to our hearts and what's true for us, I think that's really how we can benefit others in the world.
Well, and maybe you've healed your own little girl enough, through all that work, that it is time for you to move on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a Girl Scout affiliate, so I can still get connected with girls in that way. And I would always do. I mean, I'm more open to like doing private offerings, private camps, private like my body, my power birthday parties kind of thing, rather than promoting in the public and filling the camps
Right.
and finding the rental space. Those
Right.
kinds of things. It takes a lot of energy, but yeah,
Does.
I'll always be available to work with girls till my final breath. Really,
Good.
I mean, it's important. It's important to support the younger generations
Yeah.
because, and then when I'm with them, I'm like, hey, I need some of you to be me, supporting the youngers in your life, and I've always had a large age span, like 9 to 15 year olds, and it's like, why don't you separate the ages? I'm like, no, I want the younger
Yeah.
girls to look up to the older girls, and I want the older girls to still look down and be like, oh yeah, I remember what it was like to be 10
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
be self-conscious and blah blah blah, and to teach them about their periods and menstruation and body changes, like in a safe container where they can just ask questions that they're embarrassed to ask their moms or whatever, and just to be that mentor. It's important to me. I will always be available for that. But yeah, I'm going to a retreat next month in Costa Rica. I got asked to teach yoga, and that's been a dream of mine, is to travel the world and help women heal, really. And being in sacred space with women is really like, it's the
Yes.
magic
Yes.
spot.
Yes.
So yeah.
No, it's an amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what advice would you give to someone who is currently where you once were?
Oh, curly. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, so I'm going to share this thing that I've been doing recently where I'm acting like my future self, loving my past self in the present moment. And so because when we're at that kind of place where it is a major spiritual turning point, there's so much fear and uncertainty that knowing that it's going to be okay, because we don't always have somebody telling us it's going to be okay. I'm going to tell you it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. Because because of the faith that I have and have always had, no matter what I feel, I believed in the power of myself too, and in the manifesting of whatever as the years have gone on, right? And when we're at such a low point, a change has to take place, or we'll die. As a result of the behaviors of trying to fix, manage, and control some kind of past or pain event, right? So
Thank you.
yeah, so the knowing that it's going to be okay, that there is a loving, spiritual, universal presence that wants to love you. You have to allow, I know I'm lecturing now, and I'm lecturing that past self, you have to allow that to come in. And that can be the scary part, because in the past of being hurt, it can be hard to let that in and just do the best that you can, just show up the best that you can, in whatever
Thank
is
you.
going on. Because it wasn't like wave the magic wand, I'm now this awesome person. No, we're looking at 35 plus years of work, deep, deep work. And why? So I can be of service. 5 planets in Virgo, I got to be of service.
Well, and I think a lot of that journey is trust and coming back to self-trust. And I think when
Yes,
we've been abused, manipulated, violated, betrayed, all these things, we
yes,
lose that. We lose that trust in
yes,
ourselves and the universe and the potentiality. And it's really coming back to those places. Hand on heart, I got you. I love you.
yes,
I
yes,
trust in this divine plan.
yes. Well, and I'm gonna, I like how you're saying that, because that's what one has to say to oneself. It's great to hear it from somebody else, and yes, we do need to hear that every once in a while from other people when we are outside of ourselves too much. And it's really most effective when you say it to yourself, and even if you don't, fake it till you make it kind of thing, right?
Pretty much.
I like that you said you do mirror work too, because I think mirror work is very important also on a few different levels, and that it's very powerful and empowering too.
Definitely. Yeah, we did. I had one time, this is probably back in 2017-ish. I had two women come that own this store in Olympia, and they just did some beautiful reflection, just kind of mirroring each other. Like you kind of were tapping into the person's emotional body and then kind of moving your body to mirror that. And they just had these different kind of dyad experiences. And then we went into the bathroom, and there's a huge mirror, and they just guided these 9 to 16-year-old girls to look at themselves in the mirror and look how beautiful you are and blah, blah, blah. And it was a trip to see the girls that were confident, that were like, you're so awesome, babe. The girls that were like cleaning the sink, they couldn't even look at themselves. They're like cleaning and like not doing it. And just to see that full spectrum was really eye-opening, because I had never done that before. We've done different mirror work where, like self-image day, I have my friend Sarah Ann, she comes and does a presentation and talks about the inner beauty and versus outer beauty, and they decorate mirrors, and then they do like positive affirmation mirror work. But to witness those youngers, just some of them couldn't even look at themselves, was like, oof, this is like, I was really grateful. And then we went back into the space, and I did a little sound healing because I could feel people's nervous systems got triggered, kind of thing. But yeah, it is important just to be able to look at yourself in the eyes and I love you and I got you and I'm here and fake it till you make it. Kind of, you just have to sometimes say it over and over again before you believe, your little self believes it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is back to time and timing. There's seasons to everything. There's cycles to everything. And so it's I always want to go, am I done yet? The answer is no. When you're dead, that's when you're done.
I know, it's a trip. I mean, I still wonder. I have an elder client who's 81, and she's still doing the work, and there's times that she's had a lot of trauma from her history, but she'll get triggered by it. And there's times where I'm like, babe, you're kind of good. Like, you could not do more work. And she's just like, oh, BS. Like, what's the point if we're not working on ourselves? And I'm like, I mean, it's true. But I think it's important we take breaks too. Like, once I started doing self-development in my 20s, like, you just have to take a break from it. Even like, okay, I'm going to take 3 weeks off and not work on my shit for that time.
Well, again, to like cycles and timing and astrological events and things like that. I don't believe in the working all the time. I just know that the work isn't done. Like there's no completion. There's no, it's like, it's learning more how to, I'm going to say love, and you start, loving and living with yourself also, how you are, that back to that acceptance. And there's one other thing I was going to say about it, though, like, which I think I have forgotten. Fun. Oh, yeah, fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that part.
Right? Oh, relaxation. Oh, let's enjoy ourselves, our lives, right? Like, even when it's hard. Like one of my practices, every day I've been dancing 3 songs a day, at least 3 songs a day.
Good for you.
And because I'm a 5 rhythms dancer. And so, three random songs at least will come on. And what I'm noticing lately is that when I move my body, the joy, the gratitude,
good for you.
To be alive, to be healthy. And so these affirmations start coming in then too. And so gratitude is a really great balm and solution, of healing any crisis. Yeah.
Because we're always going to be going through these sacred initiations for our lives.
Yes.
Things, and, trying to get out of the victim story. This happened to me. This happened for me.
Yes.
And just trusting in the divine plan that's bigger than us. And it's not easy especially when you're in it. But that's what I walked through, and that's what I witness other women walking through, is just the walking through the sacred fire. Yeah,
and it's not that you get to the other end, it's that you get to the next level. It's probably like some video game or something that I don't know how to play, that I've never played. I don't play video games, but that just made me think of it. There's always another level, of spiritual ecstasy. Like, let's just see how good life can get in this beautiful body.
Totally. I mean, that's my reason. I have 2 teachers through the Phoenix Humanities School, and Aita and Christina, and they're the freest, most powerful women I know because they've done so much work. And for me, that's why I do the work. So I can be free in my body, in my heart, in my spirit, in my mind, and just be in that authentic flow of trust. And just as things come, it's like, okay, yep, it's just kind of being Neo in the Matrix, where it's like, okay, how do you move to just go with the flow?
It's true. No, and that's back to that surrender and acceptance. It's so true.
Yeah.
Because that is the point. And then the second point would be to fulfill your soul's purpose. Because everybody is here for a reason, does have a purpose, can access that. So it's because that's the most fulfilling part. Like, I love doing those Reiki adventures, Kristen. I'm leaving tomorrow on the plane. I can't wait. Like, to be out.
You're good. That's right.
Yeah.
Good for you. Oh, I love Sedona. It's amazing.
Sedona for 4 days, and then the Mount Shasta in June,
beautiful.
12, 13, 14. And then I'm also planning All in September.
Oh, good for you.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Go, girl. That's awesome.
This is the fun part about getting older.
All right, I'm rubbing on that for the future.
Yeah, not as many responsibilities.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, what is one message or insight you believe the world needs to hear right now?
Oh, well, I am going to say that we are going through dark times. It's dark historical times. It's very difficult to talk about. It's very difficult to listen to the news, to see the atrocities that are happening because of one person running the show. And I gotta take another breath. It is best to focus on the love and the light and the appreciation for what one has in one's life. To stay connected with that, and that to pray for the people that are being deeply affected by this darkness that's happening. And it is part of the Aquarian age, shifting from Piscean to Aquarian age. There's a 50-year shadow period between the shifting of the ages, and we're now just getting to the other side of that 50-year shadow. And that Pluto moving into Aquarius was like kind of the little, I don't know, cement nail or whatever into that. We are now in the Aquarian age, and we're at the baby beginning of it. So the old regime doesn't want to let go. And so and it's going to have to let go because it will die also. That's the other thing about the body is it does die. So they will die also, and life will keep evolving on, and we can move into a brighter time frame, time zone, societal time creation. And because we're all moving through this darkness together.
Thank you. I agree with all of that. I mean, we have to stay connected to the light. Can't ignore the dark, but it's not the focus for me. I mean, I think it's important to embrace both sides, but the light is what transforms and uplifts.
Yes. Well, and I'm going to add the love.
Yeah, thank you.
The love that is in the light. Well, and I'm sure there's love in the darkness also. Like, love is a kaleidoscopic field of many situations and dramas, and so to not judge that, it always comes to choice of alignment, right? What you want to align yourself with in love and in the light too. Okay, done.
Beautiful. Well, how do people find you online?
I have 2 websites, shaunaofthestar.com and venusinlove.com for understanding of you find your Venus sign, and then there's a PDF download, just to watch how the best way to use your Venus in Love qualities.
Beautiful.
Yeah, those are the 2 places.
And are you on social media?
I'm on Instagram with Shauna of the Star. I am on Facebook. What's it called? Pages? Or business, whatever. I'm not on that as much. I do a Wednesday Mercury messages channeling, and I'm trying to get on Fridays to do a Venus in Love channeling, but that has not happened yet. But if you follow me at Instagram, Instagram is where I'm planning on going more live on.
Great.
Yeah.
And do you have any projects or things coming up in the future?
Well, the Mount Shasta in June. The book, the book is to be published this year,
Cool.
and I'm going to be in Astoria with you, right? So
Right.
we're
I was just going to say,
yeah,
yeah, we'll be together in May.
May 1st for a May. I think it's May 1st for a May Day celebration. Yes, and then I'm also going to teach a tarot class, which I'm kind of excited about because it's not going to be a standard tarot class. Like it's just about reading the cards. It's not about learning the cards.
Oh,
About
cool.
reading them, and I'm going to do a mirror with it. So I'm excited about that because
Beautiful.
the mirror is really powerful because the Venus rules the mirror, right? That goddess loves looking in that mirror.
And that's May 16th in Astoria?
I think so. Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
think it's a
And then you'll be
Saturday.
down here in Olympia. May
Yes.
31st, we'll do another collaboration with sound
Okay,
and
wonderful. I'm really
meditation.
looking forward to that so much.
Me too.
So
Yeah,
much.
me too. Well, any final words or one final message or anything else to share with our listeners?
Let me pull a card. Let me pull a tarot card. I got them right here.
Ooh.
Let's see. What else does everybody need to know at this time for their highest good according to grace? Okay. Ooh, okay. So I want you to understand that sacrifice means to make sacred. Because a lot of times people give too much of themselves away for service, to especially mothers, right? And that you need to understand that it is a sacred act that you're doing, and that if you want things to change, you're going to have to start charging money. Instead of like just giving away all your services and stuff, like start charging money, and because there's something about money. There's some money issues going on here. And money is a part of the field. Like there's that snake, that creative energy. We're just finishing up the year of the snake, right? And so what are the last little bits that you need to let go of so that your life will change? Because you are a beautiful goddess. A
Beautiful.
beautiful, beautiful goddess. All right. That's my final
Thank you.
message.
Wonderful.
All
Well, thank
right.
you, Shauna, for this amazing conversation. I appreciate your time. And thank you to our listeners for hopping on another episode. We appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you
Community
so
Power
much,
rocks.
Kristen. Yeah, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Blessings. Thank you for joining me on this journey of empowerment and connection on the My Body, My Power podcast. If you loved today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who inspires you. Together, we're creating a ripple effect of confidence, courage, and light. Until next time, Goddess, keep shining your power.